Hey everybody, a few months ago, the beginning of the season, it is now fall now, as you can see all the leaves on the ground. We put a new drive belt on this lawn tractor and it didn't even make it the season without messing up. So, doing a little research, we got our new belt and we also have got the new engine pulley. Supposedly they say what happens is these engine pulleys actually wear out, and that is what causes the belts to go bad so fast. So if you could see here, I'll show you this right now and I'll come back and show you the other belt. So as you see this pulley here, this is where the drive belt fits. See how far out the belt is on the pulley? All right, well, the one on the lawn tractor, the belt is really sunk in the pulley because the belt wore out, but I do believe that this pulley has also worn. So once we get it apart, we will take and I'll show you the old belt and the old pulley. So first thing you want to do is you want to chalk your wheels on your lawn tractor. You want to open up the hood of your lawn tractor and you want to go ahead and get in here and disconnect your spark plug. Very important. You don't want it backfiring on you when you're working on it. We'll get some chalks. So the next thing you do to put this belt on, there's another video on my channel on how to put the belt on. So I'm not really going to go over it too much. But on this one here, we need to take out the battery. So we need an 11 millimeter. Then we're going to pull out the battery tray so we can get the upper pulley off in here. And well, actually, while I have it here, let me see. Let me go ahead and put this in gear and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's the pulley. And now this pulley here is for the blades. This pulley up here is for the drive belt. See how sunk in it is? And that is what's causing my belts to fail real quickly. I think the pulley's worn out. So we're gonna take that bolt out, pop this pulley off. We might have to drop the deck off of it and put the new pulley on and the new belt on. So let's start getting some of the stuff apart and we'll be back. All right, we took the battery out and the battery tray, which is getting kind of nasty. And now we're to this point. Now, I've already gone over this in one of my other videos, but I'll go over it real quick. This is the variable drive belt, which I think is okay. So to get this, we have to take this belt out of the way because the belt that we want is in this next pulley groove down here. So we have to take this pulley off, which this is a 7/8. You can stuck a screwdriver in here and use a wrench and break it free, but we're going to use the impact gun on this. I think we can get the socket on here, get this pulley off, get this belt off, so we can start getting the next pulley, the next belt off. Okay, we used a 7/8 socket and we got this pulley loose. There's the nut, and then here is the variable drive belt that I pulled off. I don't know if it's bad or not. It's getting some wear on it also. So now that we have that loose, now we have to get this belt off of this pulley here. And on this pulley here, there is a nut or a bolt underneath that we have to take off. So that's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to take that nut or bolt off to lift the variable speed pulley up so I can get the drive belt off. Okay, we are now underneath the machine and we have to take that bolt out right there. I do believe it's a 13 millimeter or 1/2 inch, and that'll allow us to lift up the variable speed pulley to get the belt off, the lower belt off of that piece. So we're waiting to find the right socket, and we're going to use the impact gun to get that apart. You see that 1/2 inch or 13? Yeah, it's whatever size this is. What do you got? 1/2 inch. All right, and there's going to be no room for the camera and the impact gun to be in there, so let me get this busted free and we'll come back. All right, we were able to get the variable speed pulley out to get the belt out. So you just take this one 13 millimeter bolt out, and then this slides up and you can slide the belt out. You can see here, see how grooved up this variable speed pulley. This is what gives you your speeds. When you shift it, this belt gets smaller and this belt gets larger to give you different speeds. As you can see, this one's getting kind of grooved up, but this is infinitely adjustable, so I think we can still go with this. I think the problem is the major pulley. Okay, so now that we got this out of here, now we're going to go for the pulley underneath. As you can see, we got some ramps and put it up in the air to make it easier, and we're going to get our piece of stuff here to lay down on. give me the 1/2 inch socket. Let me see if this is 1/2 inch. So we're gonna try to figure out what size this is. So now this is this here is the blade belt. So I'm just gonna slide the blade belt off.
Where'd you put it?
Isn't it still in the gun?
Where's the gun?
That's the gun behind me? Or the gun's behind me, sorry. All right, so let's see. Is this 1/2 inch or is this 9/16? Nope, it's bigger. It's bigger. It's probably like 5/8. So let me find the right socket. We'll get the belt. We'll get the blade belt off of here by loosening up the blade belt guard, which is this piece that I'm wiggling right here, which has some bolts that come up through the bottom. Is this 5/8?
Yeah.
Yes. The bolt that holds this pulley on is 5/8. All right, let's get this busted free and we'll come back. Okay, this is the belt that goes on for the blade. I had to take the blade guard off, which is right here. It goes up to that hole right here with a 13mm. So that's off and that's down. And then this is a 5/8. So I pulled the 5/8 out. As you can see, luckily the pulley is just dropping down. So I should be able to fish this belt off. But now I have a new problem. The deck is in the way. The pulley will not come off with the deck in the way. So either we take the motor loose or we drop the deck. Let me figure out what I'm going to do and I'll come back and tell you what I decided to do. Okay, so actually I let the deck all the way down into #1 position, and that gave me enough room to get the pulley off. So there's the old pulley. Let me hand that to the boy. And now we're gonna fish out the belt, which should just, hey, the belt, can you reach in through the battery hole and unhook the belt? It's hooked on the variable speed pulley. Do you see it? It's moving around kind of under the seat. See that? See the belt that's moving? Yeah, undo it. All right, there we go. Thank you. Now the belt will slide out. All right, so get the belt out. Okay. All right, so here, let's walk over to the old pulley, the new pulley. Grab the camera for a second. All right, so here is the old pulley. As you can see, the belt was starting to slip on it. So let's compare the two to see if it's worn out. Well, I'll tell you what, that is definitely worn out. If you line that up, can you see that? Can you see how much more, how wider this one is than that one? So let me see. Okay, so here is the old belt with the old pulley. See how far it's sitting in? And the problem is the belt is the V on the belt is no longer riding on this surface and this surface. It's beginning to hit the center section. So as you can see, this pulley is worn out. So let me take and put the old belt on here. And as you can see how far out it is. So this belt actually, it is worn out because I smoked it. Right here. Yeah. I smoked it right here. But the reason why this lawn tractor was having such a problem is it wasn't because of the belt. It's because the pulleys are worn out. And even the blade one is so much wider. But the drive one, that is the major problem right there. It's a good 1/4 inch too big. So if you could see, when I put the new belt into the new pulley, see where it sits? On the kind of on the outside, and when you put it, yeah, and when you put it on this one, see how far in it sits. This pulley is definitely worn out. This thing's, what year is it? A 2005 or 6. So here you go. This part does wear. So I'm glad we got a new one. We got a new belt, and we got a new. So now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check and make sure that the belts are roughly the same size by stretching them out. Yeah, they look pretty close. All right, so now all we have to do is we'll put the new belt up in there, because the plate of the engine has tangs that keep this belt from coming off. So we have to put this in as an assembly and then start putting it back together. So let me start putting it back together. We're gonna get some anti-seize and put down in here to make sure that this slides off as easy as this one did. Wow, that really slid off easy. We're gonna put some anti-seize in here and we're gonna start reassembling. All right, we got the pulley back up in there, the bolt tight. We have the belt guard for the lower belt. I think I'm gonna need to replace this belt also. I might have one here, I don't know. If I don't, I'll just run that one because the blades really weren't skipping. So that's back up there. As you can see, the belt just goes above everything as it runs on back. So now we're gonna put the variable speed pulley back on and the other ones, and we should be done. So anyhow, this is one of the other drive belts. This is what gives you your speed. I happen to have a new one. It's been hanging around a long time. You can see by the packaging, but I do have a new belt. So we're replacing both drive belts and the front pulley, and we're going to try using the original variable speed pulley to see if it works. So I do have a new belt. I got to figure out how to get this safety device off here. Cut to remove. Okay, so that's easy enough to figure out. So then we'll get this back on. So we already have the variable speed pulley back on. Let me turn the flashlight on. And the new belt is on the lower pulley. So now we just have to put the new belt on this pulley around that tensioner and get this lined up and put it all back together. So let me get that done and we should be done with this project. All right, I went ahead and put the variable speed belt back on. Hand me my little flashlight, please. Now to get this belt back on, you have that idler up there. That idler has that spring. I don't know if you can really see it or not, but this idler has a spring that sits in front of it. And you have to, let me try to get the camera in here. There we go. See that spring in front of it? You have to disconnect this spring to let that idler fall to the left to get the belt back on, and then rehook that spring up, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. So what I have done, and I leave it on there, let me show you. That spring, yeah, my flash, I dropped my flashlight. That spring hooks into the frame right there where that wire tie. I have this wire tie here, and I leave this wire tie so I can pull it and hook it back up. So now this thing is basically ready to go. So all we have to do is put the battery holder and the battery back in, and we'll give it a try. All right, we got it all back together. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Well, we had it all back together. It looked like everything went back together, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Let me take a peek at it and see what's happening. Alrighty, I figured out what happened here. G Junior's pulling the battery back out, and I'll show you what I did and messed up. So he's going to disconnect the battery, going to get the battery back out. So it wouldn't move, and it moved before, and then it was acting like the parking brake was on. So I know exactly what's wrong. As soon as he gets the battery out, I will show you. All right, lift that out. All right. I don't see it. You don't see it? No. No? Oh, well, I thought that's what was wrong. I thought I had left the screwdriver in here on the transmission. I had tightened the pulley up, and I thought I had left the screwdriver in the pulley when I let it up. There is something wrong with the transmission now. Did the transmission blow? It's shifting to neutral, but then it gets locked in gear. All right, well, I was wrong. I thought I had left the screwdriver in it. Let me take a little bit farther, deeper look in it, and we'll come back and see what I did. I'm not sure exactly what is wrong with this tractor. It worked last weekend, and then this weekend when I got on it, it wouldn't move. So I said, well, we better change that pulley because it was burning up. Maybe something came apart in the transaxle. We'll find out and come back. All right, I did find out what was wrong, and it's my fault. Let me pull the camera in here. See the variable speed pulley there? The belt is on the outside of the piece that holds the belt on. See, there's one there. See how the, let me reach my hand. It's very hard to work here. See how that right there is holding the belt from flopping? Well, there's one on this side. I'm on the outside of it. The belt's got to be on the inside. So we have to pop this pulley up and put the belt back on right. All right, we're gonna try, this is the second time. Reverse, up, there we go. Gear. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I got first gear again. All right, everybody, I made a mistake. I put the belt on wrong, and it was causing the belt to be too short and just not engaging. So always be sure to take and check your belt routings before you put it back together. So I made a mistake, but I got it. So now this thing feels good. I have first gear again. Before, the belt would just slip on first gear. Now it's good to go. All right, everybody, that's how you replace the pulley on the engine and the drive belts. But just be sure you have the belt routed properly along your variable speed pulley. All right, everybody, I'm gonna leave it at that. I got leaves to pick up now, so we'll talk to y'all later. Please subscribe. You can always do that in that corner. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my lawn tractor videos.